A scientific team scouring the Great Barrier Reef for so-called supercorals is claiming the discovery of a new species that appears to have survived devastating mass bleaching events. It is thought to be the first new coral species found in more than 3 decades. The non-profit scientific research organization Great Barrier Reef Legacy took 10 top marine researchers on a 20-day expedition to the far northern reaches of the reef. The ABC was the only media organization on board. Great Barrier Reef Legacy's director John Rumney said the trip's main objective was to search for supercorals that managed to survive bleaching. In the process we found an incredible reef with new species of coral. That's great, just fantastic, he said. The team counted up to 181 species of living coral at the site, the exact location of which is being kept secret for conservation reasons. Among those on board was Charlie Veron, known as the godfather of coral. WHO's responsible for discovering 20% of the world's coral species. He said it was the first previously unknown species to be found in more than 30 years. Luckily we had the level of researchers, the skill on board, that they could identify all the species, Mr. Rumney said. This was one of the most, if not the most biodiverse site that they'd been on in the past 30 years. Veron said the site was overwhelmingly good. It has more species of Acropora, that's the staghorn coral, than any place I have ever seen on the Great Barrier Reef, he said. It was really incredibly unexpected, and it's the richest site of Acropora ever found on the Great Barrier Reef. The expedition team has now mapped the area using GPS tagging and high-tech 3D modeling, so the health of this newly discovered site can be monitored. Samples have also been taken for scientific testing to see what makes these corals different and able to withstand conditions that caused others to bleach. The discovery of such a diverse and healthy site was an anomaly during the expedition, which otherwise found devastating cases of mass coral bleaching. ABC News was granted exclusive access to travel on the expedition, and can confirm that most of the sites visited on the far north of the reef were still severely suffering. Veron warned that the species discovery was no reason to be complacent. I think the Great Barrier Reef could be entirely dead within 15 years, Veron said. He said that was the worst case scenario, if nothing urgent was done to address global ocean warming. What's much more likely is progressive deterioration, he said. Veron, who has been diving on the reef for more than 50 years, has seen it deteriorate from ocean warming and agricultural runoff. Oh, it's horrible. It's like seeing the family home slowly burning, and you scream for a fire engine and you just see it falling to bits. It's just awful, he said. The reef expert said carbon dioxide emissions were the biggest threat, as they were linked to high ocean temperatures that caused corals to turn white and eventually die. But he said ocean temperatures did take a while to catch up with atmospheric warming, so there was still a chance to protect the reef.